Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Interesting Modelling Company, the midweek review. And you join us here in sweltering Somerset in the middle of a heat wave. Sorry, I meant you join us here in Arctic Somerset in the middle of a cold snap. It is absolutely freezing out there, but never mind. Right, we haven't got much time tonight, or rather, we've got the time. But we are going to be short with it. So what are we doing tonight? Which is a very good question, actually. What are we doing tonight? Right. What I thought would be fun to do is actually construct the Italeri 35th scale Kubelwagen, which is a ridiculously easy kit to throw together. And I've got three boxings here. I've got this one. I've got this one, which is also pretty much the same. And more excitingly, I have an original Revel Italiari boxing as well. Won't bother with that one because that one's all done up and whatever. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the parts, shall we? Just make sure we've got everything in the kits that we need to build them. And let's have a look. Well, first up, I've suddenly noticed that well, there's the thing. This boxing that I've got here, I've never opened up the boxing before, and it turns out it's missing. Oh, and I know why that is, because that's the one I've already built. Right, okay. Don't worry about me, folks. I'm still suffering from long COVID, so I thought somebody's stolen half my kit. Yeah, me. I built that one. So let's just pretend that didn't happen, shall we? So we will. I'll tell you what. We'll go for this boxing. Now this is, as you will notice, it's a Revel Italiari boxing from the late 1970s. Hopefully this one will be intact, and I haven't already attacked this one. And yep, that is looking good. Now, when I say this kit is ridiculously easy to build, it is ridiculously easy to build. There are so few parts in the kit, but it's, I think, is still a worthwhile model to make. So, and this one's got we've got the tent, we've got the two figures of Rommel and Rommel's rather buff radio operator. So, I'm just checking everything's here. Everything's here. We've also got some viewers are going to be joining us tonight with their Kubelwagens. And we're going to be kind of like, it's not a race, but we are going to be kind of like building them concurrently, I think is a good way of putting it. And yeah, we won't worry about the decals in this one. But to give you an idea, that's how simple this kit is. It is ridiculously easy to build. So if you're suffering from modeler's block or modeler's frigidity, then I recommend this kit. It's an absolute belter to chuck together. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's just see what the comments are saying. Probably something like, "Get off the air, you doddery old fool." Let's have a look. Mike and Penn Richardson's. Mike has his Italy Volkswagen Kubelwagen and he's ready to go. Yep, absolutely. Let's have a look. Greetings and salutations from an unseasonably warm Chicago. That's from Jim Altegott. It's unseasonably cold here in Somerset, it's got to be said. We'll get the weather out of the way. No, not on YouTube tonight. Yes, we are on YouTube tonight. Okay, no, we're definitely on YouTube tonight. Yep. Let's have a look. Dum-ba-dum, diddly-dee, dum-de-dum-de-dum. Just seeing. All right. So we're just going to say, we'll say hello to Anthony Bird, Hobby Time, Damien Mullen. Yeah, we're definitely on YouTube tonight because Damien's joined us on YouTube. Dave Swindle, Nick Brown, Lee Suter, Dougal McWoogle, Model Making Haggis, Tony Surridge, Brian Wilton, Russell Taylor, blah, 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 Dave Swindle, Dave Mummery, Ian Goldstraw, Dave Coward, Travis Thompson, Mike Williams, Kev Tinker, John Huston, Jim Altegott, Michael Drungus, Steve Moores, Mike and Penn Richardson, Dave Swindle, Steve Johnson, Douglas Hunter, Dave Mummery, Clive Whitford, Mark Ryan, Dave Fleming. So we've got a pretty good kind of posse here tonight. So anyway, without further ado, we'll crack on with this, shall we? It's God. I must fill you in on my history with this kit, which we'll do as we get on with it, actually. But I first had this kit back in 1979, would you believe? And I remember going up to there was like a shop up West Hill in Portishead called Cat's Whisker, and they had one in there in the window. It was probably about £1.50, and so I persuaded my mother to part with some money, and I got it and built it. Now, I remember at the time I built it in the space of an evening, and I thought, well, I must have rushed that. So about 10 years ago, I built another one. No, I built it in the space of an evening. I admit I didn't paint it, but I did build it in the space of an evening. So it wasn't that I was rushing it. It is just a silly, easy model to build. Now, how much of this model are we going to build tonight? If we've got time, we'll build the tent and the radio and all the other stuff. But primarily, we are concentrating on the vehicle, and that's what we'll be doing. But we will ultimately be looking to use everything in the kit, you know, and build everything from the kit. So shall we begin? We're not going to stopwatch this. We're just going to build it. So let's have a look at the instruction sheet, and as you can see, it's fairly straightforward. There really isn't that much to it, but it is such a gloriously simple kit to build. Right, I've got me weapons of choice here. Mainly my number two, number four, one or the other. I've got my pointed scalpel, and I've got my Despy cutters. Tamiya extra thin liquid cement, one of my beautiful Infinity sanders, that's it. That's all I need to crack on with this. So let us begin. And we'll begin with the floor pan. And as always, I will intermingle my running commentary / diatribe with personal reminiscences. But gotta say, this is back in the day when Italeri were banging out some absolutely first-class kits. And I don't know what the more recent boxings of this are like, but if you can get an early one, I'd go for it because they are absolutely stellar. They really are. So there we go. That's the floor pan cleaned up. I'm just seeing what's right. It's on the other sprue. Yep, there we go. I'm looking for the pedals. Yeah, the pedals to the metal, and there's the gear stick. So yeah, all right, fine. When I built this model back in 1979, goodness me, I can remember thinking, well, that was not so much a bit of a disappointment, but I felt like I'd rushed it. And like I say, when I built it again 10 years ago, no, I really didn't. I hadn't rushed it at all. It was just a fun model to make. So I would say that if you are suffering from a bit of the old modeler's block, or you just want you want what we tend to refer to as a slammer, you can't go wrong with this. It's cheap, and I think it's a lovely kit. I know there will be people who'll say it's not terribly accurate. Yes, it probably isn't, but I think sometimes you've just got to work with what you've got. And in this instance, I think this is a great kit to work with. So let us right, bit of our first touch of the Tamiya liquid cement tonight. There we go. Whew. I will come to your comments, as long as you keep them clean, and well, relatively clean. But hopefully some of you are building along as well with this kit. If you can hear the wind outside, it's a real old howly night here tonight. Of course, Derp's outside because he likes it when it's windy outside. But oops. Oh, excuse me, folks. Oh. Almost finished now. Jim Milcott says, "Where is Crazy Loca? He bought his Italy Kubelwagen for this occasion." Okay. Okay. Well, I'll chuck this one out to the people out there. This is from Steve Moores, and he says, off-topic question: can I take advantage of the assembled posse? What's the best thinning agent for Mr. Colour Aqueous paints, please? I'm tempted to say Mr. Hobby's, their leveling thinner for spraying, although their normal thinner is. It all depends. Are you hand brushing or are you airbrushing, Steve? You can use isopropyl alcohol, to be honest with you, but I would use the leveling thinner. Would be my go-to choice. But we'll see what the people out there. All right, it's Steve has confirmed he's using an airbrush. Yeah, I use the leveling thinner. It's good stuff. Right, let's whilst you lot are all thinking about that and answering Steve's query, I'm looking for part number 5, which, oh, there it is. Good Lord. Good Lord, you can tell I haven't done anything finicky like this for a few weeks, and it feels like I've got 10 thumbs and 1 finger. It's it'll come back to me, but it is another consequence. I know he's going to mention long COVID, but it's another consequence of long COVID, I'm afraid. But we will get our brain and our hands back into synchronization. And I think looking back on the 1970s, I think I seem to remember, because I built the Tamiya Kubelwagen as well, and I seem to remember that the Italeri one was slightly more upmarket, in my opinion, and yeah, it was a good kit. It still is a good kit, actually. Oops. Just trying to work out where the... I'll just do this, and I'll come back to the comments again. Right, there we go. Right, let's have a look at the comments. Mike Williams says is answering Steve Moore's question about thinning Gunsy and all those kind of acrylic paints. He says Mr. Color Leamingtons or MLT is my go-to thinners for both Tamiya and Mr. Hobby paints. Both their lacquers and aqueous paints airbrush beautifully thinned with it. Yep. I would agree with that. Yeah, it probably will. No reason why it shouldn't do. Dave Fleming says, JM, use tweezers so much easier. Yeah, I will do, Dave. Don't worry. Don't worry. Jim Altegott says, I have the 1970s Kubelwagen. The level of detail is about the same, perhaps a bit more in favour of Tamiya. Possibly. I'll have to get hold of one and have a look. Let's have a look. Karen McMullen says, did Hella rebox this kit? I have one in the stash and it looks like the exact same, but unknown history according to Scalemates. Yeah, it'll be the Italeri kit. Hella did rebox quite a few Italeri kits in the 1990s. So yeah, it's the Italeri kit. Don't worry about it. Yep. Right. Meanwhile, what have we cleared? We've cleared... Oh, we've got that little bit to do in the bottom there now. Part number 7. There we go. Now, I am keeping the lines open till about 9 o'clock. So I've still got another hour to go. So for all of you who want to bunk off and watch The Mandalorian, don't worry, we're not going to be kind of like cranking on for about 10 hours or something. And this is the point, is that this kit really does go together ridiculously easy. So as I say, if you are looking for a cure for a bit of modeler's block, you really can't go too wrong. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Ah. Yeah, that's nicely in place. Now, the other thing is, unlike 1979, when I built this, I was building it with Humbrol liquid poly, which was, I think, it was the only liquid cement we could buy back then, and that was pretty good stuff. It did glue things together fairly rapidly. However, modern liquid cements really do power through these kits. So we're not going to try rushing it, but if you suddenly think to yourself, well, you're building that a bit rapidly, that's the stuff. So let's have a look. What are we going to pop on now? It's showing the seats. Actually, we are going to build it as nature intended, as Italeri intended. So we're going to build it in that sequence of bits. There we go. Yeah, as I said, I built this. Let's just switch the camera over. There we go. I built this kit back in 1979 when I was, blimey, 10, 12, 11, 12, something like that. And we got it from a shop up West Hill called Cat's Whisker, which tends to be a bit of a bric-a-brac shop, I think is the best way of describing it. It was nearly new or new stuff, and we were going past there one day, and lo and behold, they had Italeri Kubelwagen in the window for a pound. And I managed to persuade my mother to give me £1. And yeah, I remember building it, buying it, building it. Slightly disappointed that it was all over in a matter of an hour or two. But fast forward to 2009, when I had another example of this kit, and I thought, well, I'm going to build it this time, but I'm going to take my time and I'm not going to rush through it. And so I did. I took my time, and I still got it built in about an hour, 2 hours. It was, as I say, it is a ridiculously easy kit to build. So this is the point, is that if you are in a bit of a funk, or you're just looking for something you're looking for a plastic enema, I can recommend the Italeri Kubelwagen. It's probably easier to build than the Schwimmwagen, because the Schwimmwagen you actually have to glue the chassis hull from 2 halves. Then you've got to deal with seam lines and things, whereas this is just easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I wish I had some of these tools when I was building models in my youth, because certainly these sanders are absolutely top ho. Right, let's get that in there. Ugh. Excuse me, folks. I am very, very tired today. I was awake at 1:30, stupid in the morning, and couldn't get back to sleep again. So I decided to cut my losses and get up, which was a noble thing to do, but also a stupid thing to do. So that means I'm going to run out of steam very, very quickly today. But hey ho. Just seeing how that's. Oh, that's sitting in there. Oops. The other thing that I would have loved as a kid is today's quick setting liquid cements, because they really do. They're almost like a form of super glue, really. I mean, they really do. Grab the parts, bang, that's it. Bish bash bosh, job done. Oh, dearie me. Itchy nose. Well, we are just around 30 minutes into our build. I reckon we can get it all done and dusted in 90 minutes, in theory. John Huston says finished. Only joking. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Jim Alcott says the first liquid cement I recall was a now defunct product called Weldon. Right. Dave Fleming says, Dave's posted a link to a Facebook page, but unfortunately, because of all right, there we go. Yep, Dave has right, here we go. So Dave has posted a comment to the effect of "on your marks." So let's go and have a look at what Dave is doing. Present, share screen, window. Oh, I forget. I have to. I have to do this through the same browser, otherwise it doesn't work. Right, let's try it again. Present. Share screen. Window. Okay, it's not doing it for me at the moment, but never mind. We'll one last try. Dave's page. Come on. Present. Dum ba dum ba dum. Yeah, how strange. It's not allowing me to share things at the moment, but never mind. We'll figure that out as we go on. Mike Williams says, I enjoy building quickly. You might have to get one of these. Yeah, exactly. It's very quick. I think if you repost the link, JM, we can all click it. What link is that? You'll have to tell me what the link is, because I can't see what link that is. I'm supposed to be sharing. Anyway. How bizarre. I can't seem to. Yeah, the Facebook page from Dave's. I can't. I suddenly get absolute COVID brain fog here that I can't remember how to do it. There we go. They've changed things around, you see. There we go. So there's that's more like it. So there's Dave's. Yeah, so his is molded in tan, whereas mine's molded in dark grey, but it's the same kit. And it's so beautifully ergonomic, this kit. Yeah, what can I say about it? It's probably not the best. Well, it's probably not the best Kubelwagen kit out there, but you know what? It's still good. It's still a darn good kit. So, anyway, right. Let's crack on with this a bit more. Yeah, well, section 1's done. I'm on to section 2, which is the. Let's have a look. What have we got? Right. Well, we can do this seat thing here. Oops. I hope everybody had a relaxing extended break for those countries that do the bank holiday weekends. Of course, I worked all the way through my bank holiday weekend, but hey ho. I'm hoping that pays off with a bit of time off for good behaviour, frankly. Right, let's get this. I'm not going to bother with the okay. There's I'm sure that will all slot together absolutely perfectly eventually. Right, I see how it goes. Yep. Right, piece of cake. But we'll do that when we get the other bits and pieces in. So let's do the bonnet. Now, the one Kubelwagen kit I haven't got is the relatively modern Tamiya kit from about, it was probably about 25 years ago now, I think. I don't have that one. So I will make amends at some stage. I've got, I'm trying to think what other one, I'm trying to think what other ones I've got. I think I've got pretty much every Kubelwagen kit there is, apart from the Dragon one, would you believe? That will be fine. That will be fine. Yeah. So I do like to collect them, so to speak, and kind of it's quite good fun to have different kits of the same subject and build them, and then kind of note which ones are better, which ones have got better detail, which ones fit better. But then when you're doing that, is you also try and make them all look $1 million or as close to. And I will build the original Tamiya Kubelwagen as well as their more modern kit, because not everybody can afford to build the brightest, bestest, newest. Not everybody wants to. So just keeping a check on the time. Okay. Perhaps we will go on to about 9:30. Go for a full solid 2 hours. You can all watch The Mandalorian on catch up, so haha. Okay, let's get these side panels out as well. What I also like about this kit is how economical Italy were with their sprues. I mean, this body pack, the side of the body here is literally only held on by two nubs, and that's it. That's remarkable, as David Coleman would have once said. Overseas people now frantically Googling David Coleman to try and work out what the hell he's talking about. But yeah, and there are some engineering aspects of this kit that are very laudable. I was going to say, given its age, but I actually think it's just very, very well thought out. Right. Right, a little bit of Italieri engineering here, and they did rather cleverly mold the doors here on a very thin web of plastic on the inside, so that if you wanted to, you could cut the doors away and pose them open. I'm not going to, but you can do that with your model should you so wish. So let's get the now I'm only going to tack these pieces in place should I need to make any further adjustments. Let's have a look. I know I'll come along and have a look at your comments in a minute. Just make sure you're all behaving yourselves. But this is such a fun build. It's just so relaxing. Especially when everything fits together as it should. Which for a kit of this vintage isn't always the case. Right, here we go. I will also put the middle bit in, I'm going to call it. Mike Williams says, incidentally, if anyone does watch The Mandalorian, there were some nice cameos in last week's episode. There were. Jack Black was in it, Christopher Lloyd. Got to say that the Mandalorian and Star Trek Picard have really been hotting up this season. I think given how lukewarm, or Luke Skywalker warm, given how lukewarm some of the reviews of Picard were when it first started out, it took a season and a half, but it's finally found its feet. And it's found its feet by essentially being Star Trek, not trying to be anything else. So there we go. That's my little Star Trek rant out of the way. I'll do. Oh, got a message turning up here. Bear with me a sec. Oh. Right, let's just see. So this is where this kit is just beautiful, the way it all falls together. Yep, all in there. It's all in there. A bit late for a spoiler alert. Yeah, let's have no spoilers on. Yeah, right, here we go. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Nick. Nick saying, he says, unfortunately, spent the Easter weekend looking after my mum who broke her wrist. This kit is a nice break. No pun intended. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Nick. So all the best to Mrs. Brown Senior, and yeah, and John Huston says, I do that with Fuga Magisters, Airfix Hella, Valon, Special Hobby. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how sometimes we can suddenly just get one kit and then you're suddenly suckered into building multiple versions of it. But I'm just looking at the parts here, and I've just suddenly realised that we are rapidly heading towards a denouement of some kind. And let's have a look. Well, here's the thing. Penn's dad gave us a Revell 1/9 scale Kubelwagen Type 82. Probably need to get the hoy room sorted to build it, as the kitchen table is a bit small. Yeah, that's the old Eschi kit, and I finally got hold of one of them about a year or two back, and oh my goodness me, it's an incroyable kit, as I am wont of saying. It really is fabulous, and yeah, I've got one, and I really want to build it. I'm just looking for an excuse to build it, and usually that excuse comes in the form of Mr. Andrew Farmer of this parish, who just says, "Oh, can you build that for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And the same with the Kettencrad, but of which I've got both of those kits. But I would love to build the Eschi 1/9 scale Kubelwagen. I've got the Italy, excuse me, Reeboks of it. Yeah, we are going to try and find a way of contriving a way of building one of them. So I'm just oh, look at that. That just slots into place there. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stellar engineering for a vintage kit. Oh my goodness me. Incidentally, all of these Kubelwagens I've got here were all, I bought them all at model shows, and if I see them at model shows, I was picking them up. I don't think I paid more than £3 for any one example of this kit. Of course, word will get around now, and now suddenly that you won't be able to get them cheap for the love and the money. But no, I was picking them up for £2, £3, £2.50. Absolutely brilliant. And yep, right, there we go. I'm just gonna hold that in place. Just going to hold that in place. Let the Tamiya extra thin do its stuff. But again, that's just beautiful. Look at that, folks. I mean, we've been on the air now for just under an hour, and already we've got pretty much an entire Kubelwagen built. So let's crack on with the chassis now. Let's have a look. There it is. I mean, you can see how when I was 12 and I was left scratching my head how on earth I managed to build this kit so quickly, because I was trying to be adult and be slow and methodical and take my time. And yeah, no, it didn't work out that way. But 40 years later, 30 years later, however long it was, and I tried building it slowly. And again, it was all over in a matter of half an hour. No, sorry, a matter of an hour. So, as I said earlier on, I would say that if you are suffering from modelling constipation, sorry to be scatological about this, but if you're suffering from a touch of the old modelling heebie-jeebies, this kit is perfect, because you could literally build it in space of an hour. I mean, I'm going to slow down a bit now just to enjoy the experience. But yeah, you could build it in the space of an hour, and you could kind of prime it before bedtime. It's silly, but I think it's an absolutely stellar kit. It really is. And as I said, there is something about Italeri kits of the era that they tended to be. They had a certain amount of finesse to them. I think it's a good word. In fact, I must have a word with Mr. Pollard at some stage to see what his intentions are. But I would like to build some more vintage Italeri. And there are a number of vintage Italeri kits I would like to have a crack at. So I'll have a word with him. I mean, obviously he's very busy and he's got his own projects. So the last thing he needs is me poking my oar and going, "Here, Spence, how about we do this?" But I think, much like he did the vintage Tamiya series, I actually think some vintage Italeri kits would be good fun. Right, let's have a look. How does this go? There we go. God, that it just all slots together. Goodness me. Now, of course, it's one of life's not disappointments, but it's just a shame that Eschi never went and completed their big vehicles with a Schwimmwagen. I think that would have been beautiful. But I get the feeling that series ran its course, really. Would be nice if they came back and had another look at them, but no. It's a strange scale, that 1/9 scale. And I got to say, props to the hobby company for the Tamiya extra thin quick setting. That's great stuff. It's absolutely, on a project like this, it's absolutely brilliant. Right, where have we got to now? Actually, we have already started on the on section 3. Goodness me, this kit is going to be over before we know it. So let's have a look. 18 and 20. Right, here we go. Although I am going to glue the wheel halves together, I'm not actually going to glue them into place on the vehicle, because we like to keep the wheels separate so that we can paint them easier. What are we up to? We've just gone past the hour mark, and already we are now heading towards a denouement with this kit. I mean, I can see why as a kid I kind of slammed this thing together in the space of an hour. Oh. Right, I'll come to your comments in a moment, folks. So one of the things I do like about these wheels is that they mold it so that that goes in there like that, but everything else is fabulous. It really is peerless engineering on this kit. Right, let's have a look. Dun, 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 dun. See, look at that. That wheel just Snaps in there like that. That's absolutely gorgeous. I can't. In fact, I've just suddenly looked. I was thinking to myself, have I actually glued that in place? Oh, that's fabulous, Mr. Horn. It really is. Let's. Could do another cup of tea, actually. Any of you like to rush out and make me a cup of tea? No? Yeah. I don't know. You give up an hour of your an hour and a half of your evening, entertain you good people, and nobody can be bothered to go out and make me a cup of tea. I don't know. See, that's just the way that slots into place there. That is absolutely peerless engineering. Goodness me. Do you know what? This may actually be one of my favourite 35th scale kits of all time, if not one of my favourite kits of all time. Possibly because of the memories that are locked up in it, but also it's just a damn fine kit. It really is. Oops. See, that just goes together. That is fabulous, Mr. Horn. It really is. Fabulosa. Not going to worry about too much about cleaning the nubs up on the tyres at the moment. Although that might get in the way of things. Oh, it's gorgeous, that is. That's it. 4 wheels done, out of the way. Oh, we've got some little fiddly bits to do now. Oh, dearie me. Oh, I hate the fiddly bits. Oh, goodness me. Actually, the little fiddly bits are pretty much the final stages of construction of the vehicle. So, right. I need to make my mind up. Am I going to do it with the hood down or the hood up? I'm going to leave that till later on. Right. Let's have a look at the comments. See what comments we've got here. Airfix Modelers Brew here. The wife has just bought my second. She's a keeper. Yeah, absolutely. Jet Scale Models says, I am going to use an ancient resin kit, which so I'm just trying to do my camera. There we go. Doing use an ancient resin conversion kit that's been in the stash for decades and make myself a delivery van. Actually, I should have got the books out, but we'll do it another time. One of the books that I've got, it's got like a Royal Mail delivery van, a Royal Mail Kubelwagen delivery van. Very good. Rear suspension is a bit fiddly and ambiguous. No, genuinely, no. Perhaps it is on more recent ones, but I found that to be really quite easy, really. Mike Williams says 1/9 scale Kubelwagen. Wow, how large is that a model when built? It's just trying to think. Actually, it's not that big. It's still big, but it's not that big. So, yep. And Mike Williams says, just got to make sure you get all four wheels touching on the ground. Or if you do what I do, is you do a scenic setting and you just don't worry about that. So anyway, now one thing we're not going to worry about tonight is things like the tent and all the scenic props, because we'll do them another time. This is all about building the vehicle. So what are we up to now? I was gonna see if we could end this at 9 o'clock, but we'll see. We'll see. Right, let's get on with the. Now suddenly we've got a slew. That's a good word. Slew of little fiddly bits, including the no-tech and. Okie dokie, right. 31 and 32, right. And 36. Oh, 36 on the other side, yeah. 36. Where's 31? 31's there. These are the bits that drove me mad when I was a kid, because these were extremely fiddly for somebody who was kind of crashing around building kit. $31. Let's have a look. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, there it is. So that's a bit of awkward engineering by Italeri there, because they've put. Maybe you can pick that up on the camera, but they've put the sprue tag right there on the part. So we need to points off Italeri. That's quite poor engineering, but yeah, 45 years ago, these bits would have driven me nuts, because I was literally chopping them off the sprues with a Stanley knife. Not the most delicate of instruments for this kind of work. Also, I don't know if you can see that, but there. Those little bits there, that's where you butt join these. You butt join these parts onto the kit. And I've just lost where that was supposed to be going. So let's try it again. This is where it gets a bit, yeah, it's a little bit interesting, this. Now this is one of those moments when I was building this as a kid that would have had me tearing my hair out, because I think I was probably using Humbrol liquid poly at the time. If not, I was probably using tube glue. But oh my goodness me, trying to get these small parts into place with tube glue. In fact, I can't even do it with mere extra thin quick setting. That is extraordinarily finicky. Let's have a look. Dum, 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 dum. Oh my goodness me, I've made a right shash of that. But we can hide that with weathering. Oh my goodness me. Do you know what? I'm not gonna try gluing that in at the moment, because I'm really making a right horlicks of that. So we will try that again when that's dried out a bit more. Okay, let's get some of these other little bits done. What are we up to? 2051. I mean, we've already got pretty much a Kubelwagen constructed here. Oh, for crying out loud! I'm trying to see where the COVID brain fog, and I'm in the middle of building the thing. So, okay, 26. That's what I was looking for. 26. 26. There it is. Let's play catch up on the comments. Viewer Jared says, viewer Jared says, with our new chairman changing things up at Model Club, we've limited the time we talk about admin. Last night was the best meeting yet, with members bring any problematic kits along for us to all collectively scratch our heads over. There was some serious obscure resin stuff requiring some engineering planning to fill the blanks. Jet Scale Model says the tent is really 4 ponchos buttoned together to make a shelter. Yes, that's it. Gordon J. Gordon's alive. He says, sometimes when you run into frustration with a model, the best thing, nay, the only thing, is to walk away for a day or so. Yeah, the thing is, Gordon, it's really, this kit isn't one of them. It's just like small bits that are a little bit of a pain dans le derrière to to actually kind of get into position. But we will rock you. No, we will work out a way of doing that. In fact, one of the things, I'm just going to do it now, is get a bit of Scotch-Brite. So that's where I had a little bit of glue meltage there. Now, what we need to do is I didn't want to go away from using ordinary liquid cement. However, we are going to get some of this white cap out, which is pretty good stuff. And what we are going to do with this okay, what did I just do with that? Oh my goodness me, I get the feeling that my fisherman's sweater has snagged. Oh, there it is. I was just going to blame my fisherman's sweater for a part going missing. But I've just found it. So panic over, folks, panic over. So what we're going to do is there we go. We've got a bit of grab. Excellent. Right. I knew this was going to happen, was that I would have massive progress on all the big bits. And then as soon as we got down to some of the smaller bits, everything was going to go, it was all going to kind of like clag up a bit because they are finicky little pieces to get together. So we've got some clear parts that need to go on to these bits here, but I'm not going to bother with them at this stage. So let's have a look. We've got the wing mirror. What the parts 28? Where's the parts 28? Been a long day, folks. It really has. Right, here we go. Let's get parts 28, and then that's it. I think we are going to wrap this up at some stage. Yeah, there we are. Oh, this is one of the things I really don't like about kits, is when there are mismouldings on headlights. Because they're also awkward shapes to try and grab hold of. Oh well, there we go. I always find these are the worst shapes to try and clean up, because you've got to... They're awkward to hold, they're awkward to kind of level off and everything. They're just... Yeah, that'll do. I'm going to be saying that a lot tonight. That'll do. Oops. So this is the other thing, is that after an hour and a half, blimey, an hour and a half of fairly rapid progress, suddenly this kit clags down over some of the small details. But then, modelers, isn't that always the case? Isn't that always the case? Now, when I was sorting through boxes to try and find my Kubelwagens, of all things, one of the things I came across was a Italy landing craft with a Jeep, and it's the old Italy Jeep. And I was suddenly minded of the fact I've never built the Italeri Jeep. I built the Tamiya one, but I've never built the Italeri one. Oh no, tell a lie. What an absolute, goodness me, what an absolute stinking hypocrite I am. I have built the Italeri Jeep. I built it as the ambulance Jeep about 3 years ago. There you go. There's my brain not sorry, you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get these small bits. That'll do. That'll do. Yeah, so I have built a Italeri Jeep because I built it as the ambulance one. So okay. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to put the clear plastic lenses in there because I shall do that at the painting stage. So right, let's get that. That's those are done. They're in. Right, last few details, he said, hopefully, and then that will be it. We'll come back and do the other fiddly bits. Well, we'll come back and do all the other stuff like the tent, and perhaps I'll also have a look at the figures. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I reckon if Francois Verlinden could make a fist of these figures, and he is certainly a better modeler than I am. Hard to believe, I know. And I can hear you all going, no, surely not. No, God. I think Francois Verlinden's dog is a better modeler than me. So, right, there we go. Let's just get that. Sorry, I keep forgetting to get these things on camera. So, right. Let's get that into place. Then we'll have a look at your comments. There we go. One of the things I was going to say was this boxing, the Revel Italia boxing, is that would have been the boxing I built back in 1979. So, oh. Right. We've got those bits on. We've got those bits on. We've got those bits on. We've got the no tech on. Did we get the no tech on? No, we'll put the no tech. Get the no tech light on. And then that is pretty much it for tonight, folks. Oh no, we've got the pick. Oops. And the shovel. Or the spade. What do you want to call it? And then we can have a fun old evening another time doing the other bits and pieces. Like I say, this is one of those things with a kit like this, is you make rapid progress, ploughing your way through loads and loads and loads of things and whatever. Then you suddenly hit the little fiddly details, and then suddenly everything grinds to a halt. Usually that's the point in which you think, yeah, I've stuffed this, I've had enough of this kit now, which I can't do because I'm building it live on the internet. So or rather I'm building it semi-live on the internet. Really should actually. Let's have a look. That's better. Actually see what I'm doing there. I don't know who that's an advantage for, but there we go. I'll catch up with your comments in a second, folks. Right, let's just get this final wing mirror into position. So I'll have a real quick rethink about this. I think I got a little bit too much liquid cement on this, and it's slightly melted the contact surface, but that's why I'm trying. I was trying to get this to slot into place on what I thought was a contact point on the kit, but it turns out that that contact point is actually swears, people, swears. There we go. Right. See these little wing mirrors and things. God, they were absolute pain dans le derrière. I seem to remember when I was building this as a kid, and in fact, they're not much. They're not that much fun as an adult. But anyway, or relatively an adult. Right, that's it. What I'm going to do is we're going to do the final few bits, and then I am going to wrap this up for the night. But what a fabulously fun build this has been. I think I billed this as being about an hour, but I thought, yeah, that's being a bit generous. No, I always knew it was going to be about 2 hours. Oops. But no worthwhile model is ever rushed. So we're just going to get these last few bits done. And then that's it. Am I going to go and watch The Mandalorian? Actually, no, I think I'm going to go into the library and do my other show, Sunday Night Ghost Stories, extra, because it's on a Wednesday. And so I might do that this evening, and then that'll be it. Then I'll come downstairs and watch The Mandalorian. So, and then be ready for another day's work tomorrow, in which hopefully I will get this artwork done and out of the way and keep my clients happy, or client happy. Oh, anyway. Right. I think this is it, folks. I think we're just going to glue these last few bits in. And yeah, there's a couple of bits there for the rear lights, but we'll do that another time. Just got to try and work out what Oh no, they do. They do. It does go like that. Whoops, a daisy. And that one there, and that's it. Yeah, that'll do. That is going to be it for tonight, folks. Goodness me, I've been live for 2 hours now. Oh, try gluing it around the right way, JM. Goodness me. Rookie error. And that is it. Right, that's it, folks. That's it. That is, what are we coming up to? 2120. The sequel album to 2112. No. We are, this is pretty much it. There are three. Do you know what? We are going to get these last three bits in. 33, 34, and 35. So 33, 34. Oops. And 35. Then that'll be it. That's it for the night. So what was the point of it? What was the point of this? What was the point of this tonight? Well, the point of this was to show how ridiculously easy this Italeri Kubelwagen is to throw together. And I wasn't even rushing it. I was putting it together at a fairly sedate pace. But even so, it's not a difficult kit to put together. And I would say that if you're looking for something to kind of get out of a modeler's block, you can't really go wrong with this. And I think, unlike the Schwimmwagen, which has got seams that need attending to, or the Jeep is actually much more complex in terms of a construction project. This is the Italeri kits I'm talking about. Whereas this Kubelwagen is just dead easy to get together. Right, this is going to be it, folks. He said that about half an hour ago, but it was definitely going to be it now. And what I'm going to do is just oh, Italeri. I really don't like the way so many of these bits need to be butt joined as opposed to kind of like fixed in place with a pin or something. In fact, we are going to get the white cap out. Incidentally, as an aside, for because I'm you know me, I like my asides. I was astonished to read that there was a television series back in the 60s starring John Thor, aka Inspector Morse himself. And the series was called Red Cap. It was about the military police. Oops. And the thing about John Thor is he was born old. So when you see him in things like the Sweeney and whatever, you'll be surprised he is much younger than you think he is. Anyway, John Thor in Red Cap. I seem to remember he was 24. Unbelievable. Well, I'm going to leave that off because that's the registration number. So, because that can be fixed on at a later date. Yeah, John Thor, 24 when he did Red Cap. Unbelievable. Because he looks about 40. But anyway, right. What we're going to do is we are going to just plop the wheels on. Just for my own amusement, obviously. Oops. Oh well, they're not gonna they're not gonna sit on there properly because they're gonna need fixing. However, that for 2 hours work, what a stellar kit. Absolutely brilliant. Needs a bit of tidying up and obviously a coat of primer and whatnot, but oh my goodness me, what a brilliant kit. Yeah, those wheels are not going to stay on, but we're not going to worry about that. But that is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Right. So there we go. Wasn't that fun? That was 2 hours, pretty much. And we've got an Italeri Kubelwagen pretty much built. We haven't got the accessories built, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it just goes to show, yeah, Dunbar windshield. Yeah, we'll do that when we get around to doing the doing it when we get around to painting it and everything. But pith helmets are a good look on anyone. Yeah, no, that's fine. We can do that. We do like the pith helmets. I've done more modelling in the last few hours than the last few months. Yeah, absolutely. Almost 2 hours. Jim Altegott says almost 2 hours now and no mention of pastries. No mention of pastries, but we'll work it out one way or the other. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just having a look. Nick Brown says the spade and the pick location are a bit vague, but use the deco marking page to find them. Yeah, no, absolutely. John Huston says, I'm going with hood down. Just need to sand the rear deck ribs to make a little more flush. I don't know. I think I might go for hood up, actually. Saves me doing any detailing work or anything. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with the hood up anyway. So what we'll probably do is if Drew is not going to join me on Sunday, must be something I said. No, he's busy. Then we'll wrap this up on Sunday, and yeah, finish this one off on Sunday. But what a beautiful little model to build. It really is. And yep, I can wholeheartedly recommend this to anybody who's looking for, like I say, something to just break, you pardon the pun, break the mold. Just get out there and start building models again. So we will finish this off at some stage. I am going to build the tent and everything, and I think it'd be fun to actually build it as a, perhaps not continuously, but we will build it as Italeri intended, in a little vignette and things and whatever. So anyway, so that is that. Dunbar the windshield. Yeah, Dunbar the windshield. US the brain fog. Yeah, US the brain fog indeed. What color scheme will you paint it? Asks Jim. Well, I think if I'm doing it as a desert one, then the chances are I'm going to be painting it in Africa Corps colors rather. So I'll probably just end up being dark brown yellow. But therein lies the challenge, because that's quite a not a tricky scheme to do, but it's got its own set of challenges. But and then I've got the figures to paint. Anyway, anyway. That's it. Just like to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight. Robert Johnson says, does it come with sand tires? No, it doesn't come with sand tires. It just comes with tires. So yeah, it's not necessarily a truly accurate desertized Volkswagen Kubelwagen, but we're not going to worry about that. This is just about building something straight out of the box and having a blast doing it. So on that note, it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. Really need to get out, folks. We'll be back on Sunday, in theory. We'll either finish this off on Sunday, or I might finish it off in the meantime. I don't know. Anyway, I don't make up the rules. I just make up the rules. Until then, it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and we will see you on Sunday. So until then, bye for now.